Hello everyone, Mr. Hanson here. You may all remember me from when I taught you about fidgets, or when I made a Jello brain and taught you all about flexible thinking. Today, I can't be in your class because I have a lot of meetings in the morning, so I'm making this video for you from room 108. Some of you may have math in this class. Some of you might not, and if you don't, just pretend, because we are going to be talking about strategies of what to do when you are in the red zone. In case any of you don't remember, the zones of regulation are different colored zones. When you are blue, generally you are feeling sad, tired, or bored, and your behaviors are generally moving slowly or laying on a desk. When you are green, generally you are happy, calm, and focused. Your behaviors are sitting in your seat, listening to teachers, and doing your work. When you are yellow, generally your feelings are frustrated, worried, silly, or excited, and your behaviors are wiggly or crying, saying no, not doing your work, or not following directions. Now the red zone is what we are going to be focusing on today. In the red zone, your feelings generally are mad, angry, or afraid. Also not written as extremely excited. Behaviors in the red zone generally are yelling, hitting, and being out of control. That's the one we're going to talk about today. When I talk about the red zone, I really try to encourage students to avoid it, to do what you can to prevent yourself from getting out of control and angry. However, I do understand that a lot of you are angry a lot of the time and feeling very frustrated a lot of the time, so you feel like you are mostly in the red zone. And I also hear that breathing techniques generally you feel aren't effective. That's okay. We all breathe. Breathing is important to stay alive. However, if you don't want to use a breathing technique to calm yourself, there are a lot of other options that you can consider. For example, think first about being safe to yourself and safe to others. And secondly, think about not making a scene or disrupting other people or making yourself look bad. When my son plays a video game at home and he gets stuck, he asks me to get on YouTube and find videos that will give him a walkthrough or help him think of strategies on how he can complete his game or get to a higher level or just not die. In this case, we're going to treat this video as if it's a walkthrough for when you're in the red zone in class. When you're feeling frustrated, what to do and how to do it well and how to make it easier. I want you all to think about strategies the way you think about strategies in a video game. The point of the game, while you're frustrated and in the red zone in class, is safety first. Safety for yourself and others. And also, perhaps taking a break would be the best way to avoid being unsafe. And sometimes you'll have to use some strategy when in class and to think as how you could do that. Some of you may be familiar with fire escape plans. What that means is if you're at home, and let's say you're in bedroom number 2 right here, and there's a fire in bedroom number 3. Your fire escape plan, if you know it already, would be to go down the stairs and go out the door and maybe meet the rest of your family at the mailbox. But if you're in bedroom 3 and there's a fire at your only exit, you're going to need to find a way to go out the window and find a way to safely go down to the first floor and meet your family. That's an escape plan for a fire. You can use the same idea as an escape plan when you're in class and you are about to get to the point of no control. When you get super frustrated and you lose control, this is called fight or flight. And the reason it is called that is because you either respond trying to fight or trying to run away from the danger as quickly as possible. This is an instinctive response in your brain that happens when you get frustrated. Maybe you all remember when I came and talked to you about executive functioning, what happens in the front part of your brain, the part of your brain that helps you plan, the part of your brain that helps you remember and to think and to do your homework. When you are in fight or flight mode, that part of your brain turns off, and the middle part of your brain turns on, what some call the animal brain, where it just makes you either run or fight, scream and yell, punch, kick, hit, and all of those things that are really not good to do at school. If you feel yourself getting to that point of frustration, you need to find a safe space to go, a place where you can take a break and calm down, and maybe even yell or cry if you need to without disrupting anyone else. It's important then to think about where you are in class. Maybe each of these chairs that you see has a student in them. Maybe the teacher is over in that corner, the exit is over in that corner, and there is a clear pathway between you and that door. And each of these chairs has students that are doing their work, and you're about to get frustrated because something happened and it really has you mad. If you have it in you to be able to go and talk to that teacher and say, I need a break, and then to go to that door and go to some place where you can be safe, that is very important to do, especially if you catch yourself before you get to that fight or flight response where you would likely either yell, punch, or kick someone near you, or run out of the door and run into traffic and somewhere unsafe. It is very important to catch yourself before you get to that point and run to a place where you can calm down and be safe at school. If you don't need to go run and take a break and you can actually calm yourself down where you're seated, I find this strategy to be very useful. This is a visual showing that first, if you clench your fist, you squeeze your hands together very tightly, then close your eyes and rub your head, and then rub your legs. I find this to be very effective to calm myself down. I'll show you how to do it if I can get the camera to stand up. I'll just do it one-handed. So clench the fist really tight, maybe even under the desk, because if you clench your fist and put the fist near someone, they might think that you're going to punch them. So go under the desk and clench your fist very tightly, both fists. Then if that doesn't help, close your eyes, rub your head, and then put your hands on your leg and push down, and do this as much as you need to try to help calm yourself down. If breathing doesn't help, massaging, pushing hard on your leg and squeezing your fist can help, or pushing onto your head. Those things help me, and maybe they'll help you. Or maybe some of the fidgets we've talked about, if some of those work for you, going to the Velcro or something like that. I'm actually pretty stressed out right now because it is Friday and I should have gone home 15 minutes ago, but I still wanted to make sure I made this video for you. And it's Friday before a 3-day weekend. So really, clenching my fists and pushing my hands on my head actually really helped calm me down and helped me realize that I only have a few more minutes left until this video is done. Another strategy you can think about is considering the problem. What is the problem that really has you frustrated? Is it a tiny problem? Is it a little problem? Is it a medium problem, a big problem, or a huge problem? Something else to consider, if you can, is how do others see the problem and how do you see the problem? Sometimes I see things as a medium problem, but other people see them as a tiny problem. And maybe my reaction should be somewhere in the middle between what other people see and what I see. My main point of all of this is that with your zones toolbox, with each of the zones, and especially in the red zone when you feel mad, angry, or afraid, what you can do is up to you. What are the things that will help you calm down, stay safe, and not disrupt others? Think about what those can do and plan ahead, because if you don't make a plan now, when you get into fight or flight mode, it's not. I know you all remember Rock Brain. And when I brought in that Jello Brain to help you encourage to be more flexible in your thinking. That's another strategy that you can think about. Sometimes when you're in the red zone, it might be because Rock Brain is taking over. I also recently noticed that Rock Brain looks a lot like Geodude from Pokemon. Anyhow. So in conclusion, if you are very angry and frustrated and almost to the point of losing control when you're in class, remember, breathing can help, but if it doesn't, squeeze your fist under your desk, close your eyes and rub your head, rub your hands on your leg and push hard, or maybe even give yourself a hug where you can squeeze, or find a way to take a break. Find a way to find somewhere safe. Ask your teacher if you can take a break. Maybe it just might be out here in the hall by the lockers, or it might be somewhere else where you can go to calm down until you're ready to learn again. It's up to you to find things that you can do when you're in the red zone. You need to find out what they are, remember them, and plan on doing them, because when you are in the red zone, the front of your brain turns off and you won't be able to figure that out. Have a good day, and I'm sorry I can't be there with you.